Hey there guys, good morning from Dhaka, Bangladesh. I was not planning to do a third video today, but I really had this topic in my mind for last 2 days. As you can see from title, I'm going to talk about non-fragrance related topics. So if you're looking for a review or if you're here for a fragrance review, you can skip the video, absolutely no problem. So I just want to give you a heads up. I'm going to discuss about saving, okay? And for whom I'm doing this, for who I'm doing this video, for whom? I'm doing this for a video for everybody, okay? Not just poor people, middle class, lower middle class, also people who are rich, well off. The reason being, we are going through a very tough time as a whole in the world due to unfortunate war situation, lot of struggles, fighting, people are doing for nothing, no good reason, people, whole world is suffering. So we're having a problem with inflation, gas prices have gone high. Recently our country also got hit by, we were slapped by basically almost double the fuel prices. It went up so much high, like crazy. So basically life is challenging at this current moment. I understand may be UK, US, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, India, anywhere you live in the world, you're bound to get hit by economic crisis, recession, perhaps depression. You never know, some countries are going bankrupt. If you see the case of Sri Lanka, they actually are very dependent on their tourism. So during Corona time, COVID time, their whole tourism sector took a hit, and then they had huge loss. And then they also had very bad mismanagement in their government, and then corruption altogether. They had huge debt. They couldn't pay back. They did invest in very bad places. So basically, we thought Bangladesh wouldn't be hit, but we're doing quite okay. Even after post-COVID, we're surviving. But I'm doing this video for everyone, because in States, I also understand in Middle East, your fuel prices have gone almost double. So living expenses also increase. So why am I doing this? Another reason is when the fuel prices have gone high, they go high, they have side effects. Most of you know it. I studied business, so I also know, but I don't remember all the theories. But in general, it sort of has like a ripple effect or something. When you throw a rock in the water, the waves sort of reach the far end. So it affects a lot of other areas. So when your fuel price increases, you also have high price in food, transportation, rental, car, everything goes expensive because everything is dependent and linked with each other. If let's say you want to buy vegetables, it used to cost $5 before or $2. Now it's cost $5 because the transportation cost has gone high, labor's gone high, everybody has to pay more. The sad thing is, in this process, your income never ever increases. They always, either you lose job, they downsize, or your benefits are cut off, your bonuses are less, or pay cut, and or very best at best is that you still have same salary without any increment or any bonus for 2-3 years. So you have to survive in that time. Many of your families, they have your own cost. Even if you're single, if you're living on a caravan, you still have expenses. You have to eat, you have to buy stuff, you have to buy groceries, stuff that you like. So I thought of few points. I did not write them down. Whatever comes to my mind, I will share with you. So I'll give you my example, how I am managing. So you can try these. First of all, you have to, very important, you understand how to cut cost. Means you have to chop down all your extra costs that are not necessary. You have to think of necessity first, then if possible, then think of luxury. For example, what is the first necessity that you have? You need to have shelter, you need to have like a home, you need to be able to pay rent, or you have to have food, then decent clothing to do your work, going out, shoes, whatnot. So these are your primary needs. Air is free, water sometimes it's free, sometimes it's not, but everything has a bill: electricity, water, gas. So what do you do? Start cutting costs. First of all, I am doing this. I eat a lot outside, I take out, I order parcel, take out. So in a way, I am a foodie, I love food. I actually started doing food reviews in my Facebook channel, but mostly I love food. I love steak, I love a good steak, I love good seafood, ramen, all those. But slowly that I understand, if I keep spending on those, if I have to pay more for petrol, because I bought a car 2 months back and now petrol prices have gone insanely high. Everybody's regretting. One of my friends bought a CRV. It's a 2.0 car, and the amount of petrol it was drinking, now it's going to drink double, or the money is going to be, spent double. So life is not getting easier. Imagine that my friend has kids to feed, he has a wife to support, and father, mother. Life will never get easy. Once the fuel prices go up, in our countries, third world countries, they usually do not go down. So for a long hop, you have to be prepared. Some of you are thinking, hey, I'm rich, I have my father's money, I have property, this and that. You never know where the country is going to go. When you have corrupted officials, they will steal and they will just run away from the country, and you'll be left with a lot of debts, and then worries of, let's say, shortage of food. What you going to do? Even if you have money, where are you going to buy the food from? So cut down the cost, unnecessary going out, take out, learn how to cook. Maybe it will sound kind of like sucks, like, hey, I don't like cooking, it's kind of sound boring, I don't want to eat my noodles, I don't want to cook like fried rice at home, it sucks. But in a way, you'll save a lot of cost if you do weekly kind of like shopping. Let's say I do that. Nowadays I buy fruits, whatever I need at one shot. I don't go over and over again, because coming and going, that expenses I'm cutting. So once I have that, I have food for everything. I don't have to go out basically or order, pay for anything else. Everything's at home. So make sure you have good food stock and you know how to cook. Okay, it will save you so much more money if you know how to cook at home. You'll have a healthy diet better, and also you'll cut down, okay, on expenses of restaurants. So restaurants, obviously, whatever you're paying 3 times or 2 times more than you're supposed to, because restaurants, they cook steak for you. They'll charge you for their cooking, their sitting arrangement, VAT tax. But when you buy the steak or you get it cut and you cook it at home, or you cook chicken, you just cooked, you save that cost. Second, in Bangladesh, you have this practice of having chauffeurs. Chauffeurs, drivers basically, who drive your car. And it's needed because in Bangladesh, we have a small country with a lot of vehicles, a lot of jam, and there's no parking anywhere. So basically, the car driver is kept to make sure that your car is safe, and he watches over. But the problem is, if you are facing, because the drivers cost, the chauffeur, you have to pay them about $200 per month, $250. That's going right from your salary. And imagine at this squeeze moment, and you need to pay more for petrol. Basically, that extra petrol that you're paying for the money, it's not returning anything. It's just making your expenses high. So if possible, if you have a secure parking, learn how to drive. If you're having problem, that in Bangladesh we have a lot of problems, like drivers sort of steal petrol from you. They use the AC all day, and they make trips like Uber and stuff when you are at work, you don't even know. So perhaps if you have security, keep the car in a secure place and keep the key with you the whole day. The car is with you, you can go back, and then you can actually save cost by not paying the driver. But if you have to, absolutely make sure you take the key with you. This is what I'm saying. It sounds a little bit harsh, but if the car is running 5-6 hours on petrol for the driver's AC, it's gonna go from your pocket, and it's not gonna be a good news. Next, I feel, if possible, these are very simple things, okay? Let's say you use a tissue box, very micro example. I use tissues like people know, like they used to make fun of me, like, hey, he has the lotion, he got the tissue, he's doing, hey, everybody's doing stuff, but that's not what I use it for. My skin is extremely dry, so I use the lotion. The tissue is because I got oily face. Sometimes I need to, when I'm eating, I need tissue. So this is a luxury sort of a thing, but at one point, tissue and then toilet paper, this becomes necessity. In Australia, they had crisis of toilet paper, right? And States also, because you guys use that too, because we use water, use toilet paper. But that's not the point. Point is, let's say sometimes I have this bad habit. I would pull like 1, 2, 3, like tissue box, I would pull like 3, 4, and or wipe my hand. I actually need 1, okay, but I pull out of habit 2 to 3 times, and the box will finish quickly. You might be thinking that's just cheap talk, how much the tissue box cost. Every single cent that you save overall, because it's not just one thing will save you $100, but if you can save 1 here, $1 there, if you actually do not take Uber, if you have an alternative public transport, take it. If you can go somewhere with your foot, you can walk, go walk, because it will save you $10 here, $20 there. And then if you're not if you're not at home, switch off the AC, turn off the appliances, switch off everything. And if you do not need, do not turn on the phone, net and stuff, because you're not using, the data is going and you're paying a little bit more. So every single sector you have to save a little bit of money. And I would say also for the brand focused people, like I only eat this particular brand, I don't eat anything apart from this. I buy oil, I do not buy anything else but this palm oil. Or something like, you like to buy fries, those are really good fries, maybe Carl's Jr. or something, they're making it, and you're like, I like that particular taste. Perhaps if you're the new budget and new oil prices hitting you hard, perhaps find a substitute, not lower grade, but there are other alternatives, which is gonna It says save you 50 cents. Okay, these are the ways you can actually save some money. So basically these are the things I'm gonna follow. And for the car that I have, I usually do not go to work. My workstation is at home, but I used to go for just for the sake of drive. I drive, for fun. So nowadays, if I don't really have to, I will not use the car. In that way, your car servicing period will extend, because if you don't use the car, the engine oil filter, they'll last a little bit longer. So it sounds like you're being stingy, but unless you have illegal money, or your father is like a mafia boss, or your father is a dishonest person who's corrupted, and you have huge unlimited amount of money, most people, even well-off people who are honest, but their business will take a hit. Be prepared. If you have a restaurant business, it is going to take a hit. Customers will come less. Uber business, everything's going to go high, so people will not have business in Uber. So there'll be a tension. Everything has effect. Soon we'll start seeing crime, because people will be desperate. When you're hungry, you have no other option. What you're going to do? You're going to beg or commit crime. Some people do not have the that they have too much self-respect to do begging. We have a lot of beggars here, but nowadays I've seen everywhere, so tight, situation is so tight. Man, I cannot tell you, like COVID situation was nothing. I'll tell you, be very careful. COVID was nothing. You could still come out after 2 years of lockdown. You could go back to your work, and slowly you build up. People can work. But nowadays, even if you work so much harder, your income is always, end of the day, fixed. So you have to find smart ways, if you possible. Let's say, try to do something else apart from your work. Do a little bit extra work where it can get you like a little bit more money, like $100, no harm, because you can pay the bills. And the thing is, most importantly, cut down on the unnecessary things that you really want. Do not do anything that is extra. That's how you can actually survive this, and you don't have to worry. If you are, let's say, I'll tell you one last point, then I'll go. I am doing fragrances like as a whole 24 hours job, reviewing, collecting, using, decanting, going to shops. The whole work involves perfumes. But recent times I started selling off some fragrances which are not selling. Let's say you have a page, you decant, and you have a perfume business. Do not bring fragrances that do not sell. They're going to occupy your space. One thing, you'll never use them. Second thing, third thing is you are just going to not have business from them. And what's going to mean? Your investment is stuck. So make sure your investment always is running. Let's say you open a tea stall that sells every day. Be practical, okay? If you cannot afford the luxury, do not keep 3 cars, like I have a very expensive car, I have a Mark II. Get a Prius. You'll give you like 23 kilometers per liter in the town, which is like 3 times, 4 times more than my car. So these ways you can actually save money, and also be mindful of the fact that there are other things in life also matters. Like if you do charity, there is definitely God. That's what I believe. If you believe in God, if you help people, you'll always be okay. This is how I always found it. Sometimes I do not do charity, I do not give. That's the time I suffer. I did not have any business, nothing for a long time, 10-15 days, 0 sales. You can imagine the panic, right? So all this combined, be a bit less luxurious, be a bit less adventurous. Do not buy any fragrance you do not need, or you really want something. Perhaps you don't need it at this point. You don't need fragrances. It's just your hobby. But perhaps as a person who bought like some months 48, 58 fragrances per month, I don't do that anymore. I do exactly what I have to do to create content and also to do business. After that, perhaps no need for luxury or extremely niche Uber stuff for myself, which is going to be no good for my business. I hope I could make some sense. Do eat and do enjoy life, but make sure necessity comes first and then followed by luxury. Every country is going through hard time. Crisis is real. We do not know when the war is going to stop, when the craziness is going to stop, but it affects the whole world, from micro to macro level. So stay united. You're going to lose your mind sometimes if you put too much stress. Make sure your well-being is also taken care of. When you have enough sleep and enough food, that's the time you're going to be okay. Take care. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this video will find you helpful. Take care. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.